Spring arrives quietly in the Netherlands. There is no dramatic change overnight, no sudden moment where winter simply disappears. Instead, color slowly takes over the landscape. At first it's subtle, fields still look empty, skies are pale, the air feels cool. And then, almost without warning, the land begins to bloom. Rows of color stretch across the countryside. Red, yellow, pink, purple. Perfect lines that seem almost unreal, as if the earth itself decided to paint. This is tulip season in the Netherlands. And there is a reason why this short moment in spring feels so different from anywhere else in Europe. Tulips are not just flowers here, they are history, they are identity. And for a few weeks each year, they completely reshape the country. To understand why this season feels so special, you have to look beyond the flowers themselves. The Netherlands is flat, open, wide. That matters. There are no mountains blocking the view, no dense forests hiding the horizon. When tulips bloom, they don't appear in small patches. They appear in massive fields, stretching as far as the eye can see. From above, the land looks geometric. Perfect stripes of color, aligned with canals, roads, and dikes. From the ground, it feels endless. Like walking through a living painting. This openness changes how spring feels here. Light spreads evenly, colors feel brighter, the sky feels closer. And because the Netherlands is so carefully managed, everything looks intentional. Nothing feels wild. Nothing feels chaotic. That contrast is important. Spring in many places is messy. Rain, mud, unpredictable weather. Spring in the Netherlands feels calm, controlled, balanced. Tulip season is also extremely short. That's part of the magic. Most fields bloom for only a few weeks, sometimes even less, depending on weather. Farmers carefully plan when flowers are cut. Entire fields can disappear overnight. You might arrive expecting endless color, only to find freshly cut land. Or you might arrive at exactly the right moment when everything aligns. That uncertainty creates urgency. People don't come just to see flowers. They come to catch a moment before it's gone. This makes tulip season feel almost fragile. Beautiful, but temporary. And that changes how people experience it. There is less rushing, less noise, more watching. People walk slowly along the fields. They stop often. They take photos, but they also pause. Because even without knowing much about tulips, you can feel it. This won't last. The towns and villages around the fields reflect that same mood. Small roads, quiet canals, bikes moving slowly past farmland, windmills turning steadily in the background. Nothing feels dramatic. Nothing competes for attention. The flowers don't need help. What also makes tulip season unique is how deeply it's connected to daily life. These fields are not tourist attractions first. They are working farmland. Tulips are grown for export, for bulbs, for the global flower industry. Tourism is secondary. That means you're not walking through theme parks or artificial gardens most of the time. You're walking through real agricultural landscapes. That authenticity changes everything. It doesn't feel staged, it feels lived in. And because of that, the experience feels quieter, more grounded. Spring here isn't about events or festivals every day. It's about movement through space, about watching light change over fields, about noticing small details. Clouds moving faster than expected, wind brushing through flowers, reflections in narrow canals. Even famous places like Keukenhof, while more curated, still follow that same rhythm. They feel less like spectacle and more like a seasonal pause. Tulip season also reflects something deeper about the Netherlands itself. This country has always been about working with nature, not against it. Water management, land reclamation, careful planning. Tulips fit perfectly into that story. They don't grow randomly. They grow in order. That order creates beauty, and for travelers, that creates a very specific feeling. Spring here doesn't overwhelm you. It doesn't rush you. It invites you to slow down, to walk instead of hurry, to look instead of scroll. And that's why this season feels different. It's not just about color, it's about balance. Between nature and design, between work and beauty, between movement and stillness. When the season ends, the fields return to green. Life continues quietly. But for a short time each year, the Netherlands becomes something else entirely. Not louder, not bigger, just brighter. And sometimes that's exactly what makes a place unforgettable.